All right. Welcome, guys. This is my life at network school. So it's been a week. I kind of want to just show you guys an in-depth dive because there are a lot of short videos on network school, but I kind of want to show you guys exactly what's going on. No edits, just I'm going to walk through the entire society that we have here. There, I was just pointing at the sailboats. It's not visible in the video, but I'm going to go close to them later in the video because we had a sailing event today. So a bunch of people taught each other how to sail. That's one of the good things about network school is that there are a lot of smart people here and you get to talk to them and meet them during dinner. But there are also formal events where people are teaching things to one another. This is a dehumidifier. I never had this in my life before, but one of the things that you have to do is empty this. Well, the hotel staff will do it for you, but I just kind of wanted to show you that the climate in Malaysia is pretty humid. So get ready for that if that's not something you like. But the hotel has air conditioning, so it's not a concern at all. I don't know why I mentioned it. I'm not trying to discourage you, but it is the reality. Like if you go outside, it's going to be pretty humid. So that's me. As you can see, it's pretty like easy life. I'm wearing like loose pants, flip flops. I go outside. This is the hotel corridor. These are the buildings in the back, residential buildings. If you don't know the story of this place, this is an artificial island that was built by a Chinese real estate company. They were actually going to make 4 islands. It was a $100 billion project. A huge megacity was going to be formed here. But they made the first island and they couldn't sell all these apartments in all these buildings. So now so the project flopped and they didn't build the other islands. But you have the first island. It's pretty much a ghost city. Like they called this place a ghost city last year. It's definitely growing as opposed to last year. Last year, it was like definitely empty. In this video, you're going to see a bunch of people. Well, not a bunch of people, but still more than zero walking in the streets. There are a couple markets. There's a mini mall. But the point is like, we're living in this hotel. What is a network state? Let's talk about that. A network state is basically like a regular nation state. However, it's based on a common ideology. So what's our ideology at network school? That's the name of our network state. I guess these are getting a little complicated, but we are all founders, entrepreneurs, future-oriented people working on their independent projects. Most of us are digital nomads, so we don't really have income tied to a physical location. We can choose where we want to live. So a lot of us said, why don't we just live in this island together amongst similar-minded people? And why do we do this? By the way, I'm up on the 13th floor here right now, and I'm going to show you guys the game room, kind of like where people hang out. This is some chess and table tennis. And then the restaurant, like everything is included, food, gym access, everything, healthy food that's cooked 3 times a day, all included. All you have to do is pay $1,500 for one person every day. And if you want the entire room to yourself, you have to pay $3,000. The situation is a lot of people are upset about their current situation at their current countries. And I don't want to get into politics because it doesn't matter. There are 2 sides in every country and they're both upset. And it's not going to be fixed because these systems are very slow. So see, this is the food. It's just in a box like this and it's all healthy. The situation is not going to be fixed because the institutions are very old and they're corrupt. And the best thing you can do is get out and live amongst people that you mentally aligned with and at an affordable price. See, like think about regular nation state, how it operates. It collects taxes from you and it provides services to you. Well, think about your life in the US, in Europe, wherever you live. How much do you pay in taxes and what do you get in return? Essentially, we can call that society as a service. That is what the network school is. That is what a network state is. Essentially, someone is providing you all the amenities that a society must provide. For example, here we have security, food, shelter, general amenities. This is what this society provides. And at what price? $1,500 a month. Now, if that's a better deal than your current society, then it makes sense for you to move here, especially if you align with the mentality of the people that are living here as well. So that's kind of like a little intro into the concept of a network state as opposed to nation states. There are too many NS compound words, I realize, but I apologize for that. But these terms are new for a lot of you guys, I know, but just trying to give you guys the brief. So that was a tour of the restaurant. This is what we eat. There's also a cafe downstairs and then a couple of restaurants that are not a part of network school. And like I said, this is a ghost city, right? Not a lot of people live here. So a lot of times in these elevators, it's just the people that are at network school. A lot of times around the hotel, you're always seeing people that are in network school. So it's a great opportunity for you to meet people, do some chit chat, and you realize you guys are like dealing with the same problems. Maybe they provide, maybe their job is something that you're seeking in your startup, blah, blah, blah. You're meeting great people. That's a great part. On my left is what I just showed was the cafe where a lot of people work. That's where I work. And I'm on my way to the South Tower now. There we have the gym, which is different than the hotel gym. So we get our own private gym. And what we do at Network School is you earn money. You learn. So there are a bunch of events and seminars and people teaching each other stuff, and you burn. So you have what is called the burn sessions led by a professional who works for Network School 3 times a day. He leads workouts. So even if you're not very physically inclined and you want to get your body in shape, you want to get your health in order, it's great for that as well. So we're not just improving our minds, we're not just leveling up our brains, but it's also our bodies. See, you have a cold plunge here. Benefits are tremendous. They say you have a sauna there. I don't want to go inside because there may be people. And here's a gym. So it's pretty empty right now. Actually, a lot of what I'm showing today is empty because it's a Saturday and we're close to Singapore. A lot of people go to Singapore. A lot of people go do some weekend trips. There's one guy there. And a lot of people might be at an event right now. I don't know. But you see all the step-up things. So there's going to be like a collective workout session later in the day. The reason that's good is because like if you have issues with discipline, you can just come here and make sure that you're not going to have any temptations of junk food because there is none. All the food is nicely cooked, no oily bullshit, high protein ratio to calories, no bad stuff, and group workouts. So, you can get motivated by the people around you. And the views are great, right? Like you're living on an island. Everything is pretty nice when the sun is out. There are only like 2 months of rainy season in Southeast Asia, depending on what country you go to. It's going to be a different month for every country. But even if you come during the rainy season, it's not that bad because it just rains once a day, just kind of pours and all that moisture in the air comes out. And then it's sunny or a little overcast, but that's only for 2 months. I'm walking through the library here, by the way. Again, there's no one, but normally a lot of people are working here. You got some cubicles, private offices that you can set up. This is South Tower, like I said. So a lot of people live in the North Tower, and then South Tower has the gym and workout stuff. So that's going to be another workout area, like a yoga studio or maybe martial arts. That's a content studio. That's where that's where I am right now. So you got a bunch of like stuff like this too. Like this place is growing and getting better. Like when you come here, all those rooms are going to start filling up with different things. It's a work in progress, Yeah, I guess I didn't film the elevator, but I'm getting out of the hotel. I want to kind of just show you guys what's going on outside. It's a work in progress because like we're trying to form a society here. The founder, his name is Balaji, and he's pretty serious about this stuff. He's actually trying to get sovereignty and stuff. Of course, that's a little bit more in the future. Right now, we're trying to get people out here, kind of just sell you guys the concept because everything I said makes sense. Like the nation states are corrupt and they're not treating their citizens well. No need to get into politics, but that's how it is. If you're on the left, if you're on the right, you're basically upset with your country. So why not move to a place where you are treated better at a lower cost? It totally makes sense. So come join and make this place better. So that's one of the things you can do. Like this is a work in progress. If you come here and you're a great yoga teacher, start leading yoga events. You can charge, I guess, or you can do it for free. It doesn't matter. But either way, you're growing the state, you're growing the community. You're providing a service, even if that's at a cost. That's how societies grow, right? That's a business, businesses need to open up. Outside of the hotel, I'm just walking around to show you guys both kind of the atmosphere, what does the sky look like? How's the weather? And our hotel from far away, what does it look like? As you can see, it's a pretty legit place. Very nice and pretty. It's called Forest City. Like you can see all these buildings have green plants hanging from their balconies, right? So they were kind of going for a theme where, yeah, it's a concrete jungle, but still trees are living amongst the concrete. It's a pretty green area considering it's all artificial. By the way, there's a co-working space also belonging to Network School that I haven't walked to. It's about a 15-minute walk away. I don't show that in this video, but it's basically like the library that I just showed. Just a bunch of desks and people are working there, whiteboards and stuff. Collaboration. It's pretty nice. I keep repeating that it's great to be amongst people that understand your mentality. That's another big issue with these nation states. Like, it's expensive to live there and you're not getting treated well. And who are you around? A bunch of people that you don't politically agree with, a bunch of people that you don't morally agree with. You don't have the same world vision. Essentially, what made San Francisco great, I'm from San Francisco. I spent 6-7 years there, and then I moved to Southeast Asia. I was living in Bangkok by myself in a condo, pretty much doing the same thing that I'm doing at network school. But now I'm doing it with people that are similar to me. And what I was saying was the reason San Francisco is great, or was great, was because there were so many smart people living in a very concentrated area that there is a power to networks. You see, the reason you can't delete Facebook is because all your friends are on Facebook. The power of a network grows with the number of people in that network. So San Francisco gets a big benefit from having a high number of people that are very high quality in a concentrated space. Now, creating that from scratch is very difficult. And that's why Network School is trying really hard to make that happen. But San Francisco, knowing that it has this power, is abusing its power, and it's not providing a good service, good societal service to its people, because they know that people can't leave because of this strong network effect. Now, in a way, we're saying F you to these nation states, and we're saying, you know what, with the power of the internet, we can find each other, and we can gather in the cloud and then decide on a place and just decide to move there. The other part of it is, I was telling the story of this Chinese developer, right? They built this mega project and it flopped, so no one lives here now. Well, so you got two things that are complementary. Like, the owners of this project want this place to fill up because they don't want to lose money, so they want people to move here. Well, at the same time, us who gathered in the cloud, we have similar mindsets. We found each other, but we don't have a place to live. We can't just colonize San Francisco or some other place in the US or anywhere in Europe because it's expensive. But you got a bunch of these projects actually all around the world. But in this case, the one in Malaysia, just a bunch of empty houses, empty hotel rooms that we can move into. It totally makes sense because they benefit, we benefit. Why not? You're getting a great service at a great cost. You can see outside, you got a couple markets, but not that much. But it's definitely not a ghost city. Oh, and this is a special financial zone. So I keep saying Singapore and Malaysia. We are right by Singapore, but technically in the borders of Malaysia. But this is a special economic zone. So kind of like special rules apply here. What I'm pointing at there is, camera can't see it, but it says freehold. So in a lot of places in Southeast Asia, you can't own land. Foreigners can't own land. So they give leaseholds. You buy a property with a leasehold, which means you own it for 30 years, but then you have to give it away. But freehold means you can hold it forever. So I guess look up the rules, but in this special economic zone, I guess you can freehold, so you can own the property for real, which makes sense because they're trying to get rid of these apartments. I'll do a separate apartment tour some other day, go into detail. I want to see like what they're selling at what price and everything, because we're living in a hotel, but they also have apartments. They wanted this place to be like a big mega city. Oh, also speaking of which, like the minimum commitment for network school is 1 month, but you can become a long-termer, which means you commit for a year and maybe more, and you get a few benefits. I'll go into more detail. By the way, here's a mall next to our hotel. So you see a bunch of stores. Like there are some stores. It's not the best mall, but it's opening up. Like this place is revitalizing. But anyway, so like if you become a long-termer, you get some benefits. You can move to the apartments, which are a little larger. I guess that's the only benefit, but that's not the only benefit. I'll talk more in detail about that, but there are some benefits. That's a separate video. So let's walk through this mall, grocer, everything. Oh, in Malaysia, alcohol is expensive. It's a conservative country. However, a lot of people don't drink at network school anyways. People are locked in. They are grinding, they're getting their shit together. They're also working out. So there's not that much alcohol consumption, but this is a special economic region, right? So there is a duty-free shop. If that's of concern to you, you can buy alcohol for cheaper there. So a couple advantages to living here. I'm on my way to the beach from here. The beach is pretty nice at night as well, I must say. But during the day, it's still a tropical paradise, right? Malaysia is a great place. But at night, last night, it was my friend's birthday, my roommate's birthday, actually. So we went to the beach and just sat down, had a couple beers. I also quit alcohol. Like, I can't say quit because I have beers like this occasionally when it's someone's birthday and stuff, but I don't use it anymore. But we had a couple beers at the beach and it was nighttime and there was a bunch of people like playing music. You're about to see like these little huts. Like there's some people here, these under these umbrellas. People gather. Like it's not a dead city. You know, that's what I'm trying to show. Like, it's a Saturday, so people are out on the beach. They're just drinking and talking, a little bit of music. Kids are out. The other part about like becoming a society, like I said, Balaji is pretty serious about making this a real society, like sovereign society. You know, you're gonna have passports and stuff. Well, like, how do you make that happen? Like, you gotta get families moving here. That's one of the problems. There are a lot of problems that we need to solve, but we're gonna solve it together when you guys come here as well. It's a work in progress. Everyone has to contribute in some way. You see these like little huts. People gather under these at night as well. They light up, and there were like fireworks. It's pretty nice. The beach is good. It's not like the Maldives, but pretty still water. Nice clean sand. Well, it's artificial, right? So they brought nice sand. And then one thing I should say is that Network School is going to be expanding to other places. So since they haven't expanded yet, I don't know the exact policies, like no one knows, but I'm guessing that if you are a member at one place, you can go to the locations in other places as well. So obviously, like, every place gets boring after a while, right? I was a digital nomad, so I'm pretty used to moving to a different place every month or at most every 2 months. Like, this place is going to get boring after 2 months. And maybe this is one of the things that I can provide as a service to Network School to make it better. But this problem really needs to get addressed. This place is going to get boring and people want to become long-termers. And if there are multiple network schools and you can move amongst them, it's way easier for people to commit to a long-term contract because, I mean, it's very hard to say that you're not going to want to change locations for 1 year. Some people are like that, but I'm not like that. And I think, interestingly, I see Balaji over there from a little far away. He's talking to is that an ice cream car or something? So I'm kind of pausing. But yeah, he's here. Like, I'm very happy to be a part of this because it's also my dream to operate in network state. I also want to empower other people to operate in network state. And actually, that's the app that I'm working on. That's going to be out in a couple weeks, at least the MVP version. I really think this is the future. You have a bunch of network states and you can move amongst the network states as you feel. That's great because you don't get bored and you're ensuring that no network state or no nation state abuses its citizens because everyone is free to move amongst the states. If you don't get a good service at a good price, you get out of there and you move somewhere that you're treated well. That is the future, in my opinion. Maybe some of you guys know my past opinions, past as in like stuff I said in the past. I still hold those beliefs to be true. But I really think this is the future. I'll talk a little bit more about those. But this is the end of the video. I hope you liked it.